Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Earwax. It's Colin, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. So, normally when I do an album review, I'll go over like my overall thoughts and then specifically a track by track breakdown. I'm not going to be doing that today for a couple of reasons. Number one, I was not paying attention to this album being released. So, it was not on my radar. It came at me suddenly on Friday. I already had a review planned, and so I didn't really have time to do my like full normal review. Also, usually when I write my notes for my reviews, because like all my reviews are unscripted for the most part, but I do take down notes and thoughts to kind of help me as I go through it. I usually do that at night after dinner with my daughter when we're like downstairs listening to the album together. And for obvious reasons, I couldn't really do that with this album because lyrically it's not appropriate for a 3-year-old. So, with that being said, I'm going to do kind of a shorter one because I did still really want to talk about this album, and it's going to be just kind of a little bit different than my normal reviews. So, the album that we are talking about is Kush and OJ 2 by Wiz Khalifa. So, I am pretty particular when it comes to like the rap and hip hop that I listen to regularly. Most of what I listen to is either like 90s stuff or like underground stuff. Like, I'm not listening to a ton of what you would consider mainstream. And that's not, because I'm a snob, but I am. And it's not because I'm pretentious. And of course, anyone that does reviews is a little pretentious. It's just not my style. It's, what's been popular over the past 20 plus years, we'll say, has just never really been my jam. That being said, there are a couple exceptions to that rule. And one big exception to that rule is the original Kush and Orange Juice by Wiz Khalifa. I absolutely love that album. It's got such a nostalgic quality to it for me. It was like one of my go-to like stoner records when I was in high school and like hanging out with my buddies. We used to put it on all the time. I really liked the early Wiz Khalifa stuff, so like the mixtapes that he did before his first like studio album. So this, Flight School, and there was like one more. But yeah, I gotta say I haven't really been into a lot of his stuff post Kush and Orange Juice. Like it was never really my style. I think he kind of like fell off from like what really made me enjoy those early albums, which was like really fun, sort of laid back production, really like kind of almost lazy, relaxed flow. And like he definitely kept some of those qualities like going throughout his career, but never really put anything out that like kind of gripped me. So when my buddy actually sent this to me on Friday, been like, hey, this just dropped. And I was like, oh my God, all right, I have to listen to this. I have to, maybe do a review on it. I didn't have time to do a full one. But yeah, I was pretty excited to check it out. And I have to say, overall, it passes the vibe check. I think it brings back some of the qualities that I really loved of the original Kush and Orange Juice. I don't think it's quite as good as the original, but there definitely is moments on it that really kind of speak to me. I love the production throughout the majority of the album. He's bringing back that kind of really classic Wiz Khalifa vibe where they're mixing in, your standard hip hop with like some R&B, some lounge, some reggae, to hear something now in 2025 that brings me back to like the feelings I had in high school. So that's pretty cool. There are a couple standout tracks that I did really enjoy off the album, specifically Crime, Bud, and Woman. It's Hanan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, probably not. Red Eye, and then Hit It Once as well. I also really like the dub version of Hit It Once. I'm excited that he kind of did that. There's some other songs on here that I don't love as much. There's a lot of the features on here that are just like, it's not my style of hip hop. And as much as I do enjoy Wiz Khalifa, you have to acknowledge he's not the greatest rapper. Like some of his bars, some of his delivery on this album is pretty weak. Some moments I think he shines really, really well, specifically like on It's Hadnan. I think he does really, really good with that track, and like a couple else, like Red Eye is another one that I think is a really strong showing from like what he can do as a rapper. But like the samples, the skits, the production on this thing, it's all bringing me right back to that original album. So I don't know if I could have asked for something much more for a follow-up to one of my guilty pleasure hip-hop albums. But that being said, it's definitely not as good. And it's not like Kush and Orange Juice was amazing in the first place. It was a lot of fun. But as far as like technical skill and like, you know, delivery, like it definitely leaves something to be desired. But again, it's a nostalgic album for me. I love the vibe of it. Like it was a great smoking album because you could just kind of sit back, put it on, and just jam out to it. And I think you can definitely do that here as well. So overall, while it's not, you know, an amazing album, I think it does, you know, pay homage to the original pretty well. And that's why I'm going to give it a B minus. It's still fun. Again, I think that's still a pretty good score, considering there are some songs on here that are pretty weak. But overall, it's a fun experience, and I think if you were a fan of the, you know, OG Wiz Khalifa, you'll definitely be a fan of this as well. So thanks again for watching, guys. Sorry it's a little bit shorter for this video, but I got another video coming out on Wednesday, and then some more coming out later on in the month, as well as a couple of fun reviews coming out too. So if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. All that stuff helps me out a lot. And as always, I'll talk to you later. Peace.